Sir, enemy forces have breached our defenses. We need to get our armored divisions out there. They're already gone, sir. Destroyed. Damn it. Sir, the enemy is sending attack helicopters our way. Gentlemen, this leaves us with only one hope. The Jeep. Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm Mike, and this week we're looking at Armor Attack 2 for the Atari 7800, formerly published by Atari Age. Armor Attack 2 came in a professionally printed box, with a manual that's really just more of a pamphlet, and a new injection molded cartridge. This is another game programmed by our friend Bob DeCrescenzo, known for the great stuff he puts out for the system. How does this one fit into the library? Let's have a look. Starting up the console, we get a title menu where, at first, you would be forgiven for not noticing that there are any options at all. This was a 2013 release, and the menu does kinda just look like a wall of text. However, here you can choose your difficulty level between easy, medium, and hard, as well as a 1 or 2 player game. If you choose 2 player, you play simultaneously, which can make things a lot easier as you can cover each other's backs. Sadly, I wasn't able to get any of my kids to help me with this one, so the footage here is all 1 player. After choosing your difficulty, you're thrown into a random arena in order to fight. Armor Attack 2 is a sequel to the 1980 arcade game Armor Attack from Cinematronics. The screen layout is very simple. At the top left is your score, followed by your remaining lives, and then below that is a playfield that you'll be fighting on. If you're playing a 2-player game, the second player's score and lives will be at the top right. The goal of the game is to get as many points as you can by destroying an endless onslaught of enemy tanks and attack helicopters that come wave after wave. You play as a Jeep. Yes, a Jeep. Thankfully though, it's got a tank buster on it, so you certainly aren't toothless. Your greatest asset though is your speed. Your Jeep is fast and can rocket out of danger at a moment's notice. Because of this, it can sometimes be a little difficult to control your movement. Once you get over that learning curve though, it's incredibly helpful. Unlike in the original Armor Attack, tanks here don't only move vertically and horizontally, but can move diagonally as well. When hit once, tanks become immobilized and give you 20 points. But there's still a threat. Their turrets are still active and can move in any direction to get off that last vengeful shot. When in this state, shooting a tank again destroys it, awarding you an extra 30 points per tank. However, if you leave them be, they'll eventually explode on their own, taking their extra points with them. It should be obvious, but crashing into a tank in any condition means instant death. And it's a surprisingly real threat considering how out of control your Jeep can feel at times due to its speed. Periodically, helicopters will join the fray. They're not blocked by terrain and will come right for you. They're aggravating for sure, but there's an advantage to getting a lot of these coming your way. Every helicopter you shoot down is worth a whopping 100 points. And even better, for each helicopter you destroy, the value of eliminating a tank goes up by 10 points. For every 5 helicopters you shoot down, you get an extra life, and the bonus points for killing tanks is reset to 0. When playing a 2-player game, the player to shoot down the 5th helicopter is the one that gets the extra life, regardless of who shot down the first 4. Once you've destroyed the requisite number of tanks in any given level, as well as any lingering helicopters, you advance to the next stage, where one of the 16 terrain maps is randomly chosen for you to play on. Alright, now that you know how to play, let's talk about some of the difficulty levels and some strategies. The 3 difficulty levels, easy, medium, and hard, are pretty standard fare for a game like this. On the easy difficulty, tanks move slowly, don't shoot very often, and their turrets are slow to follow you. Helicopters also shoot infrequently. As you advance all the way up to hard, there are more tanks per stage and they get faster and shoot more. Helicopters will also be relentless in their assault, shooting much more often. If you can manage to get past a couple of levels, a second helicopter will join the attack, making sure that you really have to be on your toes. As for helpful hints, the only one provided in the manual is to keep moving, never stay in one place. While this is true to a point, just driving all over the playfield randomly is likely to get you killed just as fast, if not faster, than camping sometimes. If the map allows for it, find a spot that protects you from shots coming at you from multiple directions. If you can create a choke point that gives you relative safety, do it. And have an escape plan if things go wrong. Remember, while helicopters themselves can fly over terrain, their bullets can't. So even in situations where a helicopter may be approaching, having your flank covered is invaluable. In a two-player game, this strategy can be even more effective, with each player covering a different choke point for the approaching tanks. As for maximizing your score, if you're good enough that you don't need the extra lives, take out 4 helicopters before clearing out most of the tanks that are attacking you. This will mean that your bonus for each tank is an extra 40 points, and you can rack up the score pretty quickly. Obviously, this means that you'll be fighting with a helicopter chasing you most of the time. But your Jeep is faster than they are, and if you have the skill, you could crush high score charts. If it's preservation you're looking for, avoid tanks and focus on killing helicopters to stack up on extra lives. Especially in early levels, you could get yourself a bunch of lives to prepare you for what's coming later. Lastly, because this is a 7800 game, and the 7800 is backward compatible with the 2600, you can use an original CX40 joystick to play this if you think it would be helpful. For each player, slide the difficulty switch to the left to use 7800 controllers, and to the right to use a 2600 controller. And that's Armor Attack 2 for the Atari 7800. So what did I think? While it's definitely a simple game, there is no denying that it has a very addictive quality to it. It's fast pick up and play action that will keep you coming back for more. The original Armor Attack is actually one of my favorite games on the Vectrex, so playing this feels like second nature. The added levels here keep the game fresh and provide the opportunity for different strategies based on the varying terrain. Especially considering that you can play this as a 2-player simultaneous game, there is a lot of fun to be had here if you can find it. Thank you for watching my video, I hope you liked it, and thank you so much to my channel members. I appreciate your support so much. As always, my contact info is in the description, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.